What is up, guys? Stark here. I am back for another Fate video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about something that was announced a little bit earlier, and that is going to be the official release of Summer 3. So it hasn't officially been released yet, as it's not updated into the game. This might change as of me posting this on YouTube. It might already be out, but as of this recording it's not officially announced in the game, but they have officially announced it, so it has a release date and everything. So this is going to be between August 3rd and August 22nd. I think this is pretty much what everyone expected. We all pretty much expected it to drop on the 3rd of August, and sure enough, it is. So there's no breaks for us. We're going to go right through into the summer and keep grinding this out. And this one is a pretty lengthy event. There's a lot to do and a lot to cover. So I'm just going to do my best to kind of give you guys all the details. So first up, what event character is it? So we're going to be getting the 4-star Berserker Jalter. So we're going to get a Summer Jalter. She's a really good character, and you know, it's Summer Jalter. So you know, that's a pretty popular choice, and I've been excited to get my hands on her on the global version. She's actually the first event character I got on the JP version of the game, so I'm really excited to get her on my main account and use her probably a little bit more effectively than I have been on Japan. So you'll get the character. She'll join your team as a temporary servant, and of course, once you finish the story, you will get her permanent addition to your team. So in order to get her Ascension material items, you'll have to get them in the shop. All of them will be available in the shop, and for her MP copies, you'll have to do raid quests. So these are going to be raid bosses that you'll fight. Now these are solo raids, they're not group raids, so you will have to defeat them. You can't rely on the rest of the community to defeat them for you, and they're not nearly as difficult, of course, but you will have to, you know, beat them to get the copies of Jalter. There's 4 different raids, 4 different fights, so 4 different copies. So as for the actual event, it's going to be broken up into 2 different parts, effectively. So you have your main quests and your free quests. That's nothing new. It's pretty standard for the way the game works. And the way this one works is you're going to be doing like a day loop. So you'll play through the event and you'll get to day 7, and once you hit day 7, you'll loop back into day 1. And you just keep doing that, basically. As you progress, you can unlock different items. So depending on your progress, you can unlock different costumes for some characters, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You'll be able to unlock like craft essences that you can get, which will help increase your drop rates. And you know, there's a bunch of different things. There's different criteria you need to hit for different items. And we'll talk about that as we go along, but for now, just keep that in mind. You'll be doing some sort of like a time loop or something. I don't know the story lore behind it because I can't read Japanese, so I don't know what's actually happening. But that's what's happening, effectively. I just don't know why. So as you're progressing through the story and doing all these quests, you'll get 3 different types of event currency, and you'll also get 3 different types of like points. So these points are accumulated into 3 different categories, and there's going to be a ladder. So you get a point ladder, and as you get more of those points, you'll get the rewards off of the ladder. So like I said, there's 3 different ones. Each of them have their own items, and you need to get a total number of points. Like, so they're separated into individual categories, but they're also combined into one main category. And that main category is going to be how you unlock main quests. So once you hit a certain threshold of points, you'll unlock the next main quest in the story. So yeah, it's a pretty cool event. There's a lot of stuff, as I said. So there's 3 new costumes. Well, I think there's more than 3, but the 3 ones that they have advertised on the main page are going to be for the 5-star Avenger Dante's, 4-star Caster Gilgamesh, and 3-star Robin Hood. So you'll have to unlock their costumes at different points in the game, and you'll have to have a certain amount of event points in order to unlock their quests. And now I think it's an automatic unlock as long as you have the criteria met. So for like example, Dante, you need to unlock it day 5 at night. So there'll be 2 different parts. You'll have like day and night. So some quests are only available on the day and some are only available at night. So for Dante's, it's day 5 at night, and you'll need 200,000 of one of the materials and 500,000 of the other ones. So it'll be a little while before we'll be able to get Dante's costume. Just keep that in mind. And if you're going for completion of all the ladders, this is basically going to be irrelevant to you. So yeah, I probably have a graphic on the screen with all the criteria and stuff listed. I'm doing the audio first before I go back into actually edit this out. So I don't know if I'm actually going to put a graphic in, but I probably will. So in addition to that, there's also 3 command codes that will be available, and these will have their own quests for that. So this is our first real chance to get a look at some like useful command codes as opposed to just like the random 1-star, 2-star ones we get in the friend points. So there'll be 3 of them. There'll be a 5-star, 4-star, and a 3-star. So the 5-star is going to be the first servant. This will apply damage cut 300 one time over the course of 1 turn to yourself when you use this attack. The 4-star will be the Armament of Victory, which will increase your critical star gather rate by 100%. And the 3-star will be Crest of Humanity, which will increase your critical star drop rate by 30. So these are definitely a much better set of effects than, you know, the 1 and 2 stars we have in the pool at the moment. And most events going forward will actually have command codes available to you. And then we get a new Mystic code in this event as well. This is going to be the Tropical Summer one. So it'll be a second summer uniform, and you need roughly 9 million EXP to max it out, like total. So it shouldn't be that difficult to max out. The skills are okay in my opinion. I'm probably missing some kind of good strategy for it. I really don't want to talk too much about it, because the last time I talked about a Mystic code, I was completely off, and the Mystic code was really good, and I didn't know. So for any Japan players out there, let me know if this Mystic code is actually useful for any like niche team or something. Anyway, first skill is the Blue Splash, which will increase Arts card effectiveness for 1 turn, as well as increasing Noble Phantasm strength for 1 turn. The second one is the Supply Water, which will increase critical star gather rate of Arts cards for 1 turn. And finally, you have the Safety Oil, which will increase buff removal resistance for 1 turn, as well as increase Noble Phantasm gauge. So looking at the skills, obviously it's going to be very helpful in an Arts deck, just specifically like any sort of like super combo team or something that requires this. It only gives 10% gauge, so not too much there. Damage is pretty good, 30% at max level for Arts effectiveness, 20% for Noble Phantasm strength. Doesn't look awful, but doesn't look anything crazy at the same time either. But yeah, new Mystic code, so that's pretty cool. Gives you something to level up while you're doing the event, I guess. Alright, so moving on here, as I said before, there are bonus servants that you can get and use for increased drops. So there's 3 different tiers for the drop bonuses. So for the large tier, which will be a 30% increase to your drop amount, this will be for the event character, Summer Jalter, and the 5-star banner character. So this will be the 5-star Joan of Arc Archer. And we'll talk about the event servants in a little bit as well, but we're just going to go through here and talk about them. So I'll say the names and we'll go back and talk about it a little bit more later. For the medium drop, it's going to be a 20% increase, and this will be for the 3-star Archer Robin Hood, the 4-star Lancer Ibaraki Doji, the 4-star Caster Gilgamesh, the 4-star Assassin Ushi Wakamaru, the 5-star Avenger Dantes, and Mash. And then for 10%, I'm not going to read them all. It's basically just all of the other summer characters that came out in Part 1 and Part 2. So if you have any of the old summer characters, they'll give you a 10% increase to your drops. In addition to that, you also have a ton of craft essences in this event. So we're going to go ahead and try and get through this the best we can. So there are 3 in the event shop. Well, yeah, they're in the shop too. So each of the event currencies give you 1, and each of the points, like each individual ladder has a different craft essence for you available. So one of them is going to be the Water Shine, which will ignore evasion as well as increase your critical damage by 15% and gain 3 critical stars every turn. This will also increase your Dojin Vitality by 30% and 60% at max limit break, and that's going to be one of the drop currencies, like one of the points. I'm trying not to mix them up. Like there's points and then there's currency. They're 2 different things. So I apologize if I keep saying it wrong, but just keep in mind that they're 2 separate things completely. Like these I'm going to talk about right now increase your points for the ladder, and then the next set of craft essences will increase your event currency to buy things in the shop. So the second one is going to be Painting Summer, which will increase your arts performance by 8%, as well as your Noble Phantasm generation by 8%. And you'll also start the battle with 30% of your gauge filled. And you'll also get the drop rate increase of 30% for the Dojin research. And finally, we have the Lady Foxy, which will charge your Noble Phantasm by 4% every turn, as well as increasing your Noble Phantasm damage by 15%, and reduce damage taken by 100, as well as increasing your Dojin Imagination by 30%. So the one really good thing about this is that we can finally get a max limit broken craft essence on the first run of the event. So you'll get 2 of them in the point ladder, and you'll get 3 of them in the shop. So finally, we don't have to farm that 1 extra copy to get a max limit broken version of the craft essence. So that's good. I'm glad they finally changed that. And I believe starting from this event going forward, they're all going to be like that. Could be wrong. I didn't do my research. I do apologize for that. But I think that's the way it works. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. So in addition to that, there's going to be craft essences that will increase event currency. And these are going to be the ones that you get off of the banners. Now, there are 3 different banners available in this event. They're not all going to drop at the same time. They will be spaced out throughout the event. We're going to talk about them all today in this video, though, just because it's really no secret what's coming out. So we're just going to go through them and talk about them. So the first one, there's 2 5 stars, 2 4 stars, and 2 3 stars. So the first one's going to be the Emerald Float, which will increase arts performance by 15%, as well as increasing Noble Phantasm damage by 15%, and this will increase your BB money drops by 1. The second 5-star is Hero on the Beach, which will increase your Buster performance by 10% and your critical damage by 10%, as well as gaining 3 critical stars every turn, and this will increase your BB money drop by 1. Man, if this craft essence was statted purely for attack, this would be a really, really good one, honestly. Anyway, 4 stars. So we have the Storms of Waves. This will increase your Buster performance by 8%, Noble Phantasm damage by 8%, and your Noble Phantasm generation by 8%. And this will also increase your Mimi Note drop by 1. Then we have the Sunset Jam, which will increase your arts and quick performance by 8%. You'll also be able to increase your critical damage by 5% and increase your Mimi Notes by 1. And then for the 3 stars, you have the All Night Fever, which will increase your Noble Phantasm generation by 5%, as well as your critical damage by 5%, and increase your Gil Notes by 1. And finally, we have the Riding High, which will increase your Noble Phantasm generation and your Noble Phantasm damage by 5%, as well as increasing your Gil Note drop rates by 1. So that was a lot to get through. If you do want to max out the shop, it will cost 4,200 BB dollars, 4,000 Mimi dollars, and 5,800 Gil dollars to max out the event shop. And like I said, you can get all the copies of the craft essences to max limit break them in the shop and the point ladder. So all that's really left to talk about, I think, is the banners. So like I said, there's 3 different banners available in this event, and they will all be spaced out over the course of the event. So it kind of sucks because you have to pick and choose exactly what you want, but you know, this is what this video is for, I guess, to kind of show you who you want. Now, they should all be available the entire course of the event once they're available. Well, like once they start, so you could theoretically wait. But sometimes it's not good to wait because you want to get those characters and start farming. And this event is going to be very taxing. I believe, I don't know the exact number. I read somewhere it probably costs like 60 apples ish to finish the event if you're like blitzing through it. So you really don't want to do that with Guildfest coming up pretty soon. You get 12 apples from the ladders, so you know that helps a little bit, but you want to space it out. You want to take your time with this event, and you don't want to go too crazy with it. Anyway, as for the banners, there's 3, like I said. The first banner is going to be all new characters, so you'll have the 5-star Archer Joan of Arc, you'll have the 4-star Lancer Ibaraki Doji, and the 4-star Assassin Ushi Wakamaru. They'll all be available in that banner. And you also do have the Emerald Float, the Storm and Stress, and All Night Fever available in that pool. The second banner is going to feature the 3 characters that have costumes in this event. So you'll have Gilgamesh, Robin Hood, and Dante's. And the third banner will drop with all the available craft essences as well, if you do decide to wait. And they'll come out with the 5-star Moon Cancer BB, who's going to be a very, very popular servant for a lot of people. You have the 4-star Saber, Queen Neve, and the 4-star Foreigner, Mysterious Heroine XX, who's also going to be very popular. And like I said, you know, all available craft essences will be available in the Part 2 banner, or Part 3 banner rather. So, you know, if you missed it the first time around, you could potentially get them the second time around. The only bad thing about this is that all 3 banners are really good, and people are still recovering from Scotty. So, you know, that's going to be very difficult to figure out what to spend on. I'm personally in that same situation. I have to make a decision here. Ideally, I'd like to get all the characters, but I just don't think I have the quartz to do that, and that's going to require a lot of luck. So we'll see, but I'll definitely be pulling, and I'll definitely be streaming those pulls live on Twitch. So, you know, keep an eye on that. And other than that, there is a costume for BB, I believe, that you can get in this event. So let me just see here. Yeah, so there's a quest for BB to have a costume. It's just a simple one that it doesn't change the voice lines or anything like that. I think it just changes her skin a little bit to not be tan. And that's pretty much it, guys. A little bit of a longer video, but I decided to do a little bit more in-depth video for that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if you did enjoy it, and if you wanted me to make any changes or do something differently. But for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I have the links below to my Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and Discord. Feel free to check those out. And I'll see you guys next time.